What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. As you may have known, I've been away for the last week, hence why there's been videos going up every day or two rather than every day. Those were just unpopular opinions and a couple of opinion pieces from myself. I hope you enjoyed them. I certainly appreciate you taking the time to watch them if you did. But we're back to the good stuff tonight. I'm going to be speaking about Jude Bellingham. I'm going to be speaking about Mason Mount. I'm going to be speaking about Ndika and a couple of other bits and pieces along the way. As you know, I'm here to give you my opinion, but I really want to know yours as well. Let me know in the comment section. Do drop a like on the video, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Now, normally this would be the point in the video where I might say to you X brand or Y brand and why I think you should maybe subscribe to them, why I think you should look at this brand or that. But tonight, I'm going to pitch you our own product for once, and delighted to say that tickets are now on sale for Anfield Agenda's first ever live show in the Sugar Club in Dublin, a city I still think of as my home city because it's where I was born and raised. We'd love to see you there. They're on sale right now from thesugarclub.com. It's going to be on Friday, August the 4th, which is the bank holiday weekend here in Ireland. Love to see you there. We don't know if we'll do any more in the future or not, but this is a special night for me. I'm going to give it my all. It's going to be a very personal show. Would love to see you there. If you're coming, let me know as well. We'll give you a shout out on the streams. And tickets are moving quite well. Not like sold out in a day or anything, but they're doing okay for little old us. So again, would love to see you there. So right, let's get stuck into it. Jude Bellingham. You're probably seen what I've seen over the past week. That I think Hayden Dodge is not the journalist. I keep coming to say journalist. Is the agent's name who was speaking to Cod Offside about what he says is widely known in his industry, that Liverpool have submitted a bid of just under £100 million to Borussia Dortmund for Jude Bellingham. Is that true or not? I can't tell you. I'm not involved in that level of negotiations like he would be. Do I think it's true? Well, I hope so, because as I've said to you guys all along, I've always known that Jude Bellingham's Liverpool's number one choice. I've always known that Liverpool was his number one choice. What I didn't know was the finances, but it looks like the finances are in play, so happy days on that one. I hope what Hayden has said is true. Do I think 100 million or just under it would be enough? Probably not. Probably going to take a little few quid more than that. I'd say maybe 110 might get it done. But you can't rule out other interested parties, and I'm trying to be entirely honest in what I say. I know if it comes down to a straight decision, in my heart of hearts, from what I've been told from a very, very, very credible person, that he would choose Liverpool. That being said, I can't sit here and lie to you and say that he hasn't spoken with Real Madrid or his family haven't met with Real Madrid in London recently. That has happened because Real Madrid are still a huge draw. They're a huge club. I just don't think the fit is right because they have Camavinga, they have Tchouaméni, and they have some aging midfielders as well. Valverde is there and a couple of other really, really good players. But the pitch to Jude has always been, come to Liverpool, you will be a superstar, you will be idolised. We will build a team around you and we will give you the platform and the tools to go on and accomplish what you want to accomplish. We know he idolises Stevie G. You've probably seen the interview with Steven Gerrard after the England game last week. Again, didn't really give away too much, but look, it doesn't take a lot to start connecting the dots. The Trent stuff, the Hendo stuff, his own comments, Jurgen Klopp's comments on him, other journalists speaking about, and I say other journalists not because I think I'm a journalist, but rather than mentioning a journalist or two that have mentioned it recently, you can take from this that many journalists also believe that Jude Bellingham will head to Liverpool. Henry Winter has been credited. Even if you're looking in the football world, Thierry Henry has said we all know that Jude Bellingham will go to Liverpool. So I still think that is absolutely 100% what will happen. Now, Manchester City are another wild card. We've seen Jack Grealish and Erling Haaland say publicly that they've been speaking with him about wanting to come to Manchester City. Again, finances won't be a problem. But what you have to ask yourself, and I have to be careful about what I say here, but what we do know factually is that Manchester City have over 100 charges against them from the Premier League with regards to financial or proposed financial irregularities. What happens there, who knows? We can't read into the future. It'll take a year or two to sort out, probably at a minimum. But if you're his agent or his family or his friend, Jude Bellingham's I mean here, could you with a clear conscience say to your client, your friend or your teammate or your son, niece, uncle, why would he be a niece or an uncle? Anyway, could you say to him, go to Manchester City, everything will be grand, it won't damage your brand, it might not damage future relationships with commercial partners. You couldn't, because we don't know. And the unknown when it comes to your legacy is something you're probably going to avoid, in my opinion. Now, add to that, I just don't think it's the right fit of club for him. I don't think it fits in with what Jude Bellingham himself has said about what he wants from his career, what's important to him, which is that love, admiration, bond with the fans, and it meaning something. So I don't think Manchester City are really an option for him. Liverpool, Real Madrid, probably the two, and I think Liverpool's work over the years behind the scenes will be enough to get it done. Now, the reason I brought up Bellingham is because I want to start trying to link together other players that I think will show you why Bellingham could be possible even at that high price point. Ndika, centre-back from Frankfurt. Somebody who I'm sure you've seen Liverpool's name mentioned to a lot over the last week. And usually in these scenarios, I think to myself, a player on a free contract, is he going to be good enough? And why are we after him? I think in this scenario, we don't need a number one centre-back. We have one. We don't need a number two centre-back. We have a very good one in Ibrahim Konate to play alongside Van Dijk. What we have then is Joe Gomez, who I'm not sold on yet, has all the qualities to be a top centre-back, just not seeing enough consistency over a prolonged period for me, and he has been really unlucky with injuries. When it comes to other centre-backs, we're going to move two on. Joel Matip and Nat Phillips probably going to be gone in the summer. So Ndika as a third-choice centre-back, or a battling third-choice centre-back with Joe Gomez, I think is a very, very good, viable option. And again, on a free contract, yes, you will have high wages, probably, or relatively high wages, and maybe a loyalty bonus or signing on bonus, but it's still very, very achievable, and spread out over the course of, let's say, a 5-year contract isn't really going to cost Liverpool that much money compared to having to go out and drop 30 or 40 million and then spend the wages on top of that. So Ndika, I think, is a genius move if it happens. I don't know how strong the interest is because I've no connections on this one. What I can say to you is some very credible journalists have been linking us, and I can see why Liverpool would be linked. That brings us around to Mason Mount, though. There's two significant reasons why I think Liverpool have been linked with Mason Mount, and they're fairly obvious. Number one is he's running down his deal at Chelsea. Chelsea need to sell players because they need to bring in money to balance themselves with FFP. And if you're selling academy products, well, that's all profit. I've said this to you before. Add to that he's a homegrown player. So if Liverpool sign him, he certainly helps with our quota of homegrown players that we need to have at the club. And clearly, Jurgen Klopp sees something in Mason Mount. I'm on the fence. Could be genius, could be stupidity. But for, let's say, 40 million quid, I'm well open to the idea of Mason Mount coming in alongside Jude Bellingham and maybe another midfielder who's either of a lesser value or somebody who isn't as prominent a name who could be another masterstroke. If you got three midfielders in, Bellingham, Mount, and let's say another, I don't know who that's going to be, bringing in Ndika, and then you look at maybe recouping some money from sales to target other areas that you might want to bring somebody in. I don't think that's too bad, and I think it's achievable even with FSG as their owners. So that's where I am, but it's over to you now. What do you believe or what do you not believe? For instance, do you think that there's any seriousness to the Joe Gomez links to Newcastle? It's believed Newcastle have a long-standing interest in Joe, but he's also signed a new deal at the club. What happens there? Do we think Mohamed Salah's head might be turned in the summer? I certainly hope not, but again, I don't know the answers to this. Over to you, my friends. Look forward to catching up with you soon. Of course, we're going to have a watch along of the game on our Twitch channel starting from 11:30 a.m. I hate saying that. I'm very nervous about that early kickoff already, by the way. On Saturday, hope to see you over there for that one as well. It will be on our Twitch channel, link in the description of the video. But just to recap, Jude Bellingham, most likely going to happen. Don't know about the 100 million offer, but hope it's true. Mason Mount, I can see why Jurgen Klopp's interested and why Liverpool think it could be a good move. And also Ndika, I think could be a really, really good piece of business. Over to you now. I'll chat to you guys soon. Much love. Bye-bye.